Guess what? If you want to feel different, you have to think different. If you want to think different, you got to do different things. You got to give yourself permission to try new things, new experiences. And ultimately, that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of confidence. And a lot of us, we just need to slow down. I'm gonna keep harping on getting us, encouraging you to slow down. We're moving too fast. We're thinking too fast. We're so stressed about this and that and that and this and this and that. And all you gotta be worried about is right here, right now. Slowing down. Slow down your breathing, slow down your thinking, and really get a hold of what it is that you want. When was the last time that you just sat back for a few minutes, no distractions, and were able to just lay with yourself, connect with yourself, honor yourself, be present? Did you know that when you are truly present, you want to know the test for being truly, truly, truly present, right? Is you're laying down somewhere and you're connecting with your breath. And you begin to start just feeling your body and being present in your body. Don't allow your mind to keep thinking. And then you really start to tap into just awareness, right? The sensations within your body, the space that you're occupying. And when you do that, your true and authentic self starts to emerge. Well, how do you know if it's your true and authentic self? Because in your true and authentic self, that energy, it doesn't have identity in terms of race, status, sex, anything. When you're truly aware, you're not like, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm sad, I'm hurt, I'm alone, I'm not alone. You're just present. And what a great gift that would be to give yourself, would be to find more opportunities by slowing down. Slow down. It's something I'm working on myself. Slowing down. Know that everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Don't beat yourself up. And if you are, stop. Stop beating yourself up. Please stop beating yourself up over the past failures and the past mistakes. Learn from them. And in doing that, what you do is you transform the guilt and the shame into lessons learned. What can you learn from the situations you've been in? And why would you want to learn? So that you can grow, right? Turn your guilt into growth. Wow, what a novel concept. Let me turn all this guilt and all this shame into growth, into lessons learned. Thus, hopefully, they will be lessons not repeated over and over and over and over again. Because that we already know. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same things over and over and over again. That's madness. When will you allow yourself to try new things, do new things? Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Focus on what you can change, not what you can't change. You can't change the past. It ain't even real. If it's a memory, it's not real. What's real is what's right here, right now, the present, not the past. You have an emotional bond and attachment to it. Thus, so many people will allow their whole entire life to pass them by because of their trauma, because of their guilt, because of their shame, because you've made way too many mistakes and you're not worthy of being able to let go and move forward and be able to heal all that and become a better version of yourself. And I'm here to tell you that that's exactly what you get to do. And if you're ready to do it, but you don't know how to start, but you're hearing this message, not here for entertainment purposes, but you're hearing the message, it's resonating, reach out. Reach out. I'm a real guy that's been through some real shit. And if I can change who I am, right, I can show you that process. I can't change you. I can't heal you. You're in charge of all that. And that's what's beautiful. You are in charge of it, and you have the power to do it. But you need to slow down. Reach out. Greg at resultskillexcuses.com. I've really been encouraged by all the new subscribers to the channel, everyone that's hearing this message. I especially love the ones where people will hear the message and be like, dude, you just literally explained my life in like the first few minutes, or man, I needed to hear this. Like, man, I don't think you guys realize how encouraging that is on both ends. You're inspired to comment and connect, and I'm inspired saying, whoa, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? All this shit that I went through, all that pain, all that shit is now being used to inspire people. Fuck. Gosh, man, why does it gotta be that way? But that's a lesson learned. What's the lesson? The lesson learned is don't give up. Keep going. Try new things. As adults, why is that so difficult for adults to try new things? Right? To get past our biases, to get past our stereotypes, and to question every one of our fucking beliefs, man. Some of y'all got some beliefs that ain't even your beliefs. Someone impressed those upon you, someone that you love, someone that you respected, someone that had authority over you. They impressed their beliefs, which who knows if they were even their beliefs. It's just a perpetuation of false limiting beliefs. And yet, you're sitting there with fidelity and allegiance to something that ain't even you. But you want it to be you. But those things are starting to fade away. I see it happening. I think most people see it happening, right? That we hold on to so much because we think it's the way it should be, or it's the way we want it to be. Or some of us, it's like, I need it to be this way, because if it's not this way, then I'm fucking scared to death. I don't know what the fuck's going on if this one thing isn't true. And so you fear monger and you try to impress those beliefs on other people, right? The true measure of confidence and security is for you to stand in your beliefs and not care if anybody else believes it, right? You know what is your truth, and you are so okay with that. Whether other people believe it or not, doesn't matter. What does it matter? But the only time that you get anxious and try to become imposing, even threatening, even insulting, and almost like confrontational is because inside of you, you're like, man, if this ain't right, first, I believe it. You say you believe it's right, but then one, you're not even acting in harmony with it. And two, you're communicating in such a way that's so threatening, so off-putting, right? Disharmonious to even your own self. And yet, underneath all that, I believe there's fear, because if for some reason, if other people aren't convinced by you and your abrasiveness in the form of a belief, then that leaves you in total disarray. It leaves you kind of vulnerable to be like, uh-oh, what is reality? And we're just in that place right now where so many institutions, false institutions that divide, that separate ourselves from ourselves first, and then collectively. Those things are starting to fade faster and faster each and every day. And what people really need to do is just look in the mirror. My own awakening experience wasn't the biggest breakthroughs that I've had first came with getting sober, right? Total sobriety, clearing out my mind, then asking for help, and then trying all kinds of new things. I've tried so many new things, right? I tried the boxes, the religious box, and I realized I know who I was in there, and I know the people I was around, who they were in there. And I don't think that was the best version of me. That's my belief. That's how I feel. I know that I've tried all kinds of therapies, from hypnotherapy to iron therapy to nature therapy to cold water therapy to couples therapy, talk therapy. Yeah. And I know the things that work, that have truly proven the results, that have truly given me what I was seeking. And that was to be able to trust myself, to do life on life's terms, to know that I truly do have the power, and it all comes from within. That power within is the power without, and that's a connection with the divine, which is God. You know, I met somebody yesterday. I was at these hot springs, and she, without giving out too much information, she is a professional within a very controversial industry in terms of a social issue related to choice, if you catch my drift. And she was very proud of herself. She was very open, and yes, you know, this is what I do, and da 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 da. And one of the cool things for me is that in my healing, and this is how I truly know that there's some depth to what I'm speaking of, whether you want to pick it up and apply it to your own life and try any of this stuff, that's up to you. It's up to you. This is the growth. Is that she was sharing these beliefs, and I held space for it. She thinks she's doing the right thing, and I held space for that without judgment. You know, I talk to a lot of my clients, and I always have to continue to tell them as they share stuff, kind of like a little bit of embarrassment and vulnerability. And I think a lot of us have been hurt by being vulnerable because we're trying to make our friends and our lovers and our family members our therapists and deal with our emotional baggage. And it's just not wise. No one's really equipped for that unless you know somebody that has truly been like on a spiritual healing, awakening journey, then maybe you'll get some good advice. Maybe you'll get some really good guidance. But more times than not, if you're confiding in people that know you and there's attachment and there's history, it's going to get filtered through their beliefs. And I've already mentioned this. I don't think people truly believe what they believe. I just think that it gives them a false sense of security, that somehow there's normalcy to this world and to existence, right? They say, you know, everybody, I heard this quote today. It said, how come all the people that believe in heaven are so afraid to die? You know, how come you've never been to I've never been to a funeral that someone didn't go to heaven? How come there's never been a funeral where they were like, man, this son of a gun, he was a lying, cheating, greedy son of a bitch. Man, we all know where he landed up. No, it's always the goody good stuff. Which just, you know, the life and death, it questions everything. So I'm talking to this lady, and this has to do with the life and death, right? I'm talking about abortion, if you don't realize it. And, you know, the interesting thing is that I held space for this woman that was very proud. She had to recently relocate because there's been legislation shutting down abortion clinics in different parts of the country. And so she had to kind of move from one state to another, almost cross country. And she was just very proud of her, you know, participation in that industry. And, you know, and I think that's what's, you know, it creates division, right? I think that in many ways, these social issues have become our religions, in terms of we've created this to be the things we worship, and we want to create the tallest, you know, virtue flag of saying that, you know, my cause is the greatest of all causes, based on whatever filter of, you know, virtue that person has as a perspective. And in my own vision and beliefs is like, I've met some women through dating that, you know, when I'm around people, they open up. It's just a gift of mine. So a lot of women have always, you know, and even just like a first date type thing, man, we get into some real deep conversations. And a lot of the women that I know that I've connected with that have talked about having an abortion, they admitted there's just a great sense of guilt there. It's a great sense of guilt. I mean, life and death, to like have that decision. I know that as a man, I'm a part of that procreation process, but the connection that women have to a child and birth and, you know, just being able to, you know, be the portal, the vortex of life on this planet, that's something I don't know about. But I also know that, you know, it's a really interesting thing. It's like, you know, we think that based on our beliefs or based on whatever, I also have this belief that I don't think governments should make those decisions, right? I think that if someone wants to make that decision, right, they should do it. They you know, I don't have a feeling about it, because I do believe that, again, through spiritual eyes of eternity, that when you make that decision based on whatever reason it makes sense, it could be a selfish reason, it could be a selfless reason, it could be a life-saving thing. This is just in terms of life and death. And it's like, how many of us are literally slowly killing ourselves? Right? We wanted, like, you know, when you even just talk about this social shit, everybody gets polarized, this side versus this side. And this is what we've really become, right? And then so you have governments that say, oh no, we need to regulate that. We need to have control over that and tell people not to do it. And one of the things this lady had that I didn't realize, and I asked her, but it stood out to me. I don't know a whole lot about this subject, other than just that it exists, is she had a hanger on her arm, tattooed. And I said, hey, can I ask you a question? What's that hanger about? And she's like, that's a symbol for the abortion industry, that prior to, you know, women, there being clinics that perform abortion, you know, women would have to go in the barn or a fucking office building, and they'd use coat hangers to fucking terminate the pregnancy. And that's just like, damn, man, holy fuck. Wow. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine that? Can you have compassion for that? This all ties into these emotional wounds and this stuff that we carry around. in terms of even just forgiving people that have hurt you. If you're not able to get to a place where you can hold space without judgment, this is what I'm really getting to here, is all these social issues trigger us so much. And it's kind of funny that, this lady, you could tell she was a hardcore activist. She was so proud of what she was all about. And I can tell you that, she had to move. And so whatever triggered her to move, what's funny is I always say life happens for you, not to you. Well, I can tell you that before she moved, she was probably fucking outraged. And I told her, I said, I bet you were madder than hell when whatever legislation passed that you were going to have to move. You probably felt victimized. You were probably mad as fuck. And she just got real quiet. And because here's the thing, in her conversation with me, she also revealed that I said, well, because that was the conversation. I said, what brought you to New Mexico? And then she told me about the legislation. And so her business got shut down. So she had to relocate. And I said, oh, cool. And I was like, are you upset? She's like, oh, no, I was actually ready for a move. But I could tell you that I know that in her spirit, there was a part where she felt victimized. She was mad, like just murder it. I'm mad, right? I'm a victim. How dare these people do this to me? And yet it's actually worked out better, because where we were at yesterday, she wouldn't have been there 6 months ago. And it's a beautiful place. And I pointed that out to her. And she, it angers people because people want to be outraged on both sides. I know religious people that want to be outraged about outrage. You think that what do you get from controlling what someone else does with their body, with their life, when you yourself aren't even taking care of your own sacred vessel? People take better care of their cars than they do their bodies. Like, no cap. That's just 100% facts. And me and this woman went into this whole conversation about this, and I could tell, because she's like kind of unhealthy looking. And it's just like, how many people literally, are slowly killing themselves because you're not taking care of yourself? Why don't you want to take care of yourself? Better care of yourself? Why don't you want to show yourself real love? And the way you do that is by, what are you putting into your mind? What thoughts are you having? What are you putting into your body, right? What are you ingesting? What chemicals are you eating? Do you give a shit what's in your food? Do you give a shit that you're drinking alcohol, ethanol is poison? No matter what context you want to put it in, you are poisoning yourself, right? Smoking cigs, weed, or whatever the else fuck is literally polluting yourself. But you have an opinion about what someone else does. All that stuff gets weighed out. It's all energetic blockages. And I've seen that in women I've met. This isn't even a conversation about pro or against. Again, my evolution on this planet is I transcend all that. And if you're someone that's so triggered, if you're triggered about rich people, I can almost guarantee you, if you're in a state of poverty right now, it's because maybe in your past life or 10 lives ago, you were that rich, greedy motherfucking asshole. Right? If you're triggered by wokeism, you were woke. If you're triggered by a political figure that you think is gonna be a dictator and jail everybody, you were probably the dictator. Because here's the truth. It's not until you are neutral, no judgment. If you are still judging, that means it's in you. It's a part of you. If you are still having a bias and a judgment, it's not until you're neutral that you're free. Because once you are neutral, then you can accept people for who they are. Are you gonna, if you're living this life that I'm encouraging you to do, this self-awareness, spiritual awakening journey as a chosen one on this planet, to make this planet a better place? Do we make it better by trying to, project all of these limiting beliefs and these dogmas and all this shit on people? Or do we do it by just loving people unconditionally? Just unconditional love. And if people want to change, then guess what? I can show you the way. And if you're ready to start changing, if you haven't already, Results Kill Excuses into your app store. Download the app. There's 25 lessons packed into 5 courses. The self-discovery work. This is the first 5. Who am I? If you've ever had to ask yourself, who am I? Because there's something about you that it's not adding up. Those first 5 discovery courses should help to get you some momentum, some traction, so that you can hopefully start getting some breakthroughs, so that you can get to self-mastery, so you can truly trust yourself, and you don't have to change nobody to do it. I'm not here to change you. I'm not here to heal you. I'm here to show you that you have the power, the same power that I had to change from the biggest fanatic, the biggest alcoholic, a confrontational, angry man, self-sabotaging, into a man that other men are now coming to saying, I want to be like you, man. I'm hearing you. Whatever you got, please help me, show me whatever you can do to guide me so that I can get a piece of that. And I'm telling you, you have everything you need. You don't need me. But here's the truth, is I turned myself into the man I never had. The man that I always wished would show up for me. I'm now showing up for me first. And that means that I can unconditionally show up for you. And if you want to connect, 3 things. Reach out, greg@resultskillexcuses.com. Book an appointment, show the fuck up. And keep showing up. Stay locked in. This journey ain't about a flash in the pan. It's not about quick fixes. It's about doing life on life's terms, 1% better, every single day, no days off. If you have life, there's an opportunity for you to get a little better than who you were yesterday. Because it's you versus you, me versus me, right? For me to win, you don't have to lose. For you to win, I don't lose. I don't want what you got, and you can't have what's mine. We can do this together. We can truly build each other up. Our time is now. I love you guys. Keep tuning in. Keep sharing the message. Support the message. Get yourself some merch. ResultsKillExcuses.com in the shop. It would mean the world to me. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses. Because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.